Waiting for the refresh. What's up, Woodchuck? Tool Collector or Clint Co. What's up, Lance Anderson, TPG, Someway, Jeff Bowery, Matt HMM, Abraham Perez, Pie Guy. I think Lance Anderson, I think I already said, yeah. Long pregame. I think I got everybody. What's up, Terry Burton? Elliot Parrish, Michael Thompson. Ready with the cold drink in one hand, pen and pad in the other. And spare to look up Amazon and other. What's up, Tyrone? I'm drinking the old Milo's lemonade today. Saving a dish, just drinking it straight from the gallon. And it is a shingle roof. It's a 3-dimensional. I think it's GAF, Timberline, charcoal is the color. It's the same shingle that's on my house. So I basically made the garage match my house. The picture sometimes on 3-dimensional shingles, depends on how far away you are, especially a picture of them kind of looks a little bit weird. Milo's is a terrible tennis player. I don't know anything about tennis. Probably the last time I watched tennis was Andre Agassi, if that tells you how long ago that was. Matt says your woman would beat me from drinking out of a jug like a caveman. Well, I'm the only one that drinks it, so. What's up, Ryan? Garage looks good from the photo. Yeah, so basically, I've got a double window that's going on the end. That's basically the size of the 2 windows you can see. It's not in yet. I don't think it's going to be in until maybe the end of this month. And then my garage door, I ordered. I think the guy came out here last Thursday, because I want to say it was the day of the live. And he told me probably 3 weeks. So I did finish getting my opening exactly what he told me. And I've got it zipped, around the corner. But I got to go buy the jam and the trim and stuff and go ahead and get that put up. I'm not going to run the electric for the opener yet. I'm just going to run an extension cord out there for a while they're, doing it, because I'm going to wait until I'm get into electric mode before I just start doing all that. That way I can decide how I want to run stuff. Because I think what I'm going to do is run a conduit up into my ceiling to a box. And then that way I can just run conduit from to locations and probably put receptacles up in the ceiling for lights, and then that way I can just put cords on stuff if I want to move stuff around. That's what I'm leaning towards doing, but I haven't decided yet, and I haven't even thought that far, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. It's from a Seinfeld episode. I can't believe I have. Oh yeah, I know what that is now. Yeah. What's up, TPG? Tyrone's got the new PB Swiss Evo set in the Torx Rainbow. They had contacted me a while back. They really contacted me a long time ago, before even all this stuff, and asked about sending me some stuff. And I said, hey, I'll try out anything, PB Swiss, anything you want to send me, you can send it to me and I'll check it out. But they specifically contacted me about these new screwdriver handles. I think they was going to send me probably the same thing that Doc got over at Last Best Tool, but I never did get anything from them. Last I know, they was going to send me something, but I never did get anything. So I might end up having to get them myself. My wife threw away 7 empty gallon water jugs last week. Already have 4 already this week, straight from jug. Yeah, so I take I'll fill these up with water. I've got like there was a big water. I can't remember what the brand name of the water was, but I'll fill these up with water and put them in the refrigerator. And then whenever I'm working outside, I just take one of these out there with me and drink from it. So I drink out of bigger jugs or bigger bottles all the time. As long as it's not a spider box in the ceiling. Well, I mostly like, I'd rather do that and then have conduit, because I don't even know if I'm going to finish like the ceiling or anything in there. Because it's a garage. It's not like a, fancy. I'm not going to have R&R headquarters, 2.0 or whatever going on back there. So I don't even know if I want to spend the money to put something in the ceiling. So I don't really like Romex and stuff stretching across where you can see a bunch of it. I just don't like the look of it. I'd rather like have straight lines of conduit and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's why I'm leaning towards doing that. TPG, what did you put on your roof? It's a 3-dimensional shingle. I know it's the GAF brand. It's the same one that's on my house, and the color name is charcoal. But from a picture, like sometimes if you're in a picture that's far away, unless you zoom in, it's the 3-dimensional shingles make a picture look weird sometimes. But it is shingles. I did that purposely for 2 reasons. One is the whole purpose of me even doing what I'm doing is Miss Maintenance wanted this building to match the house better than what it did. And then the second thing is I put on shingles because I've got a metal roof on this right now on the building I'm in that's inside my new building. And it makes it to where I can't really film out here if it's raining. And a lot of times in our line of work, that's the free time, is if it's raining and I don't feel like going, and like there might be a job that I got to do, but it's one if it's outside, but I don't do a lot of outside work. But sometimes I just don't even want to go. If it's like pouring rain one day, I don't want to even go get my tools from point A to point B and mess with all that sometimes. So I'll just put that job off for a little while. But that's a good opportunity for me to come out here and film stuff, as it is with any of us that work in this kind of business. Sometimes rain keeps you from doing what you want to do, but I can't film anything in the rain right now because it's so loud out here. So you can do it. What's up, Killtronics? Make sure plugs and E's for holiday lights. Yeah, I know I'm going to put, I already pulled my wire, so I took my front off. I guess I did that this week too. Like, so basically I'm zipped in all the way around now. Like even my front, it looks like the one building now, other than it's just zip board. But I did pull my 2 like sconce lights that are each side of my garage door off. And I kind of got lucky because I actually had both of those wires coming to my switch box. I thought I only had one whenever I wired it originally. I thought I went to the first light and then went to the next light, but I actually wired both lights over to the switch. So that made it to where I got rid of one of those, the one that was closest to my switch, and then the one that was across my garage door, I just pulled that up, and now I've got it up in what's going to be the porch, or not a porch, but like a covered, I guess it's kind of like a porch ceiling, but it's not very big, but just enough to keep rain from hitting my garage door and all that kind of stuff. So I have that up in there, and I'm gonna put can lights and stuff in that. But if I do add lights in the walls, it's going to be in the 2 new things off to my side. So then I can fish stuff down those walls anytime I want to. Abraham used to do underwriting, and the field guys hated 3D shingles because they would be asked to go back and get a clearer photo all the time. Yeah, I've noticed that just because I go around and take pictures every day whenever I'm done doing something. And then like I go around and take videos too. Like, and then I've done a lot of time lapse of certain processes of it. I got all kinds of stuff on my computer. One day, if I have time, I'm gonna start going through it to see if I can make any kind of a video with it or not. But I didn't do this for the purpose of to make YouTube videos, but I've been taking stuff in case I can make a video of it. But with me working on it by myself or with just my buddy, there's not a lot of extra time to just run around and be filming stuff all the time either. So most of my stuff has been, I'll set up a camera over here and let it record while we're just working, and we'll see what happens. What's up, Brian Hall? Has been a while, buddy. Good to see you. Terry Burton said, looking good. Do you ever think you'll tear down the inner building? My buddy keeps swearing up and down because every decision I've made, he's like, I would do this because you know you're going to tear that building down one day. And I'm like, I'm not going to tear down this building one day. And there's a lot of factors in it. Like if this slab was level like that I'm on right now in this building, like it is pitched like I mean quite a bit. Because again, originally it was just the carport type roof, like a metal roof, and that was it. No walls, no nothing. And they wanted the water to run off. So when they poured this slab, that's what they did. And then the previous owner put in the 3 sides. And then after I moved here, I put in the front and a garage door and a man door just so I could have it closed off. But even to like, so I would have had to do a lot of work to get my slab on both sides to come out right, tying it in with the new thing and all that. So it was a lot easier for me just to make it. That's a new section. And then I've got some storage that's going to be on the new section and for this section, like extra storage and making it wider. But I need more wall space than I need floor space. Like I need, like if I tore down all these walls, I'm only going to gain, 10 foot of floor space, but I'm not going to gain any more. Like I can put a whole nother row of shelves on the back side of, like, if I've got a whole section over here behind this wall, which is what there is now, like I basically got a big old closet going the whole length of this whole entire wall behind me. Well, I can put a shelf on those walls. So now I got a whole nother thing, because that's mostly what I need more than anything. I don't necessarily work out of here as much as I do preparatory, pulling materials, pulling specialty tools. Basically, it's a place for my truck storage and stuff like that. That's kind of what I use this for. Now, the newer section down there is going to be a little bit bigger, and it's going to be wide open. So if I want to work on something, I'll just do it down there. Corey Massey said he's trying. Tyrone couldn't compare. It's my first set. See, Tyrone, I went and bought, I don't think I got them. Yeah, I got them in here. I went and bought these because I've been looking for them for a while. I was going to buy them anyways. I just never had kind of pulled the trigger because I was waiting for other tools. But that's the whole reason why I went ahead and ordered these, was because the PB Swiss guy said he was going to send me the new handles. And I thought, well, I don't even have any of the older handles because all I've got is the Insider. And then I gave away my ratcheting driver. So I bought those black ones thinking I was getting those new ones in the mail from PB Swiss, and I never did get them, but I was going to buy these anyway, so it doesn't matter. Sounds like it was a proper permitted building, Joey. It's permitted by all the people that need to know. Plus your rain noise will get muffled. Yeah, that's the main reason why I went with a shingle roof. Well, that's why I wanted a shingle roof, but I wanted one anyways just because it would match our house. But that was a big decision. TPG said, why tear it down? The wall space issue seems entirely reasonable. Yeah, I'd 10 times rather have, like, if I can go around, I probably messed up my mic. So y'all, I'll look at which this place is a disaster, because every day I'll be glad when I get my garage door, because then whenever I'm done working, I can just put all the stuff. But like, I can build. So if I tore down that wall and I had shelves like this on this wall, I would lose, all I'd be doing is pushing those shelves farther back. I'm not going to gain any shelves. All I'm going to do is gain some floor space. Same thing over here. Like if I can have these shelves still be here, and then another set of these shelves and another little section, then I have more stuff. So usually it's the putting it back on that magnet that jars my microphone loose. I just got to make sure I got the green light. Yeah. It's certainly insulation, airspace. Yeah, and there's quite a bit of room. There's way more room. And again, at some point in time, I'll go around and like film with the camera once I get to a certain point, so that whenever I keep doing it on the lives, we keep going in and out. But there's definitely a lot more room between the roof of this building right now, the existing roof, and the bottom of my trusses, the scissor trusses that I put over this roof. I put flat trusses in the new section, just so it would be a flat ceiling, and then I can put stuff up in there and that kind of stuff like that if I want to. But over here, scissor trusses, I expect them to be kind of tight to this roof, but I actually got quite a bit of room up there. So that's why I didn't put insulation in there yet. I'm going to wait and see how the sound works next time it rains, because I was afraid I was going to have to put it in there before I even put the sheathing up on the roof, because I didn't know how much room I was going to have to be able to get up in there if I need to put more insulation or something for sound. But I've got all the room in the world to get up there and put something else in there if I want to. So then I have more stuff, meaning more room for tools, LOL. Yeah, I gotta have more shelf space for tool space. I need more tool space than I need working space. I like to have more tools than I have more work. Pie God said, "Hey Joey, do you like your Vera harpoon?" Let me replace that message. I try to remember to hit that pin message whenever I'm pulling somebody's up there, but sometimes I forget. Does it work well making an angle for installing screws without cam out? It works well on that's going to segue good into the subscriber gift anyway, so we'll get into that. So I got a box from somebody today, and I also got some stuff from him last week too, so I just put it all together. But doorknobs and stuff like that, like for you to be able to get in somewhere, it's so thin that you won't rub up against the doorknob if you don't have what I'm about to show you, which sometimes the harpoon bit works better than what I'm about to show you because it still is a little thick. It just depends on the doorknob and stuff, but it's worth having for sure. I would get one and just have it. I wouldn't use it every day. I'd use it in specialty cases so that you don't break it or, chip up the tip of it or whatever. Just using it for everyday stuff when you don't need it. I'd kind of use it more like a specialty type thing. Corey said he's almost as smart as me. So I did get a gift, and he was in here. I don't know if he's still in here. Let's see if he's commenting in the last little bit. But Jeff Bowery sent me a box, which he sent me something last week too. So this is a combination of two different things that he sent me. So a little while back, I think I made a post about it or a video. I think it was a video because it was a tool deal video. It was back when the Grabo was on sale. So this Apex bit set was on sale, and I talked about I probably bought this set a couple times just to get this one particular bit. And this is a bit like I was talking about with the harpoon bit. So what this is, it's a Phillips number 2, but it has this sleeve so that you can turn that, and this won't be rubbing on whatever the finish is. This sleeve kind of turns with it and spins freely outside of that bit. A bunch of other stuff in there. And I didn't even know they sold these, but he was in his Lowe's and picked these up on clearance. And he sent me 4 packs of them, so I'm set, which is good because now, like, something inevitably happens to that bit, and I can't find it whenever I need it or something. So this is 4 packs of basically just the slimmer one, not all the other ones. And it's got a Phillips number 2, a T25, and then a square number 2 in it as well. And it's got the little rail, so I think you can take these rails, if you have some of these Apex cases or Crescent, whatever you want to call them, like you can just take this rail and slap it in. So I could take out these if I wanted to and put these rails in there and make my own bit case. So he sent me 4 of those. So I appreciate that. I can't remember what he told me he got them for. I want to say it was like, yeah, he said he's here. I want to say he said he got them for like $1 or something, if I remember right. I don't remember what he said, but whatever it was pretty cheap. My Lowe's, I don't think my Lowe's has ever actually carried like this particular, blister package. I only remember seeing the bigger bits or the bigger cases. Then he also, he made a post that he got some of these tape measures. Almost gave away his information there on his card. So those are my favorite tape measures. And Milo's just quit carrying them all together. But I went in there. He found these on clearance. I think the 2-pack was $17. And I know it cost him quite a bit to ship them. And so I really do appreciate it, Jeff. I mean, I didn't expect you to do that. But it's going to be nice because I've about wore this one out. It's starting to do that. I don't know if I'll be able to. Let me go around the other side so I can actually see. It's starting to do my typical curl after I start using a tape measure for a while, like you extend it out and that end starts curling like that. That's what always happens to mine, whatever it is I do to them, I don't know. But I've been using this one right here pretty much 100% on this building my garage, and it's starting to get that real bad twist, which isn't a big deal if you're hooking it onto something. When it stinks is when you're trying to measure down to something and it starts curving and going away. That's when it becomes a problem. So really appreciate that. And then he also sent me the Little Debbie Star Crunch, which is actually one of my favorites. And then he also sent the Double Decker oatmeal cream pie. I don't even know if I've ever had a Double Decker oatmeal cream pie, but I'm actually going to give that one to Miss Maintenance. That's her favorite, is the oatmeal cream pie, or Jeff may have intended for it to go to Miss Maintenance, but that's what I'm going to do with that one. So appreciate it, Jeff. Yeah, I love the tape measures. Those are my favorite tape measures right now. There's really nothing I don't like about it. But it's not just this tape that does that. Every tape that I use does that. Normally it takes quite a while, or it takes a really big job. Like if I'm just using it like crazy, and I've been using one like crazy, on this. How would Dynamat for cars work for sound through walls? Like man, I'm trying to think of what this. So I was building a conference room at a place, and I ended up seeing whatever this was. I saw it on, like, I was at I went to like one of those builders expos. I went to Orlando, Florida one year. It's been a long time since I've been to one of those. I really like going to those, but I haven't been to one for a long time. And whenever I went to that one, I wasn't even doing YouTube. I haven't been to one since I've been doing YouTube. But they had this stuff. It was a mat that you put up on the wall before the drywall. So I bought that and used it for that, and it worked really well. Like, cause there's a hallway behind it that people go through like crazy, and you could never hear them. So it worked really well. I can't think of what the name of it is. But it's like a black rubber mat. Comes in like I want to say it was like a 4-foot roll or something like that, 4 foot tall. You just put it up with you almost put it up like house wrap in a way on the inside. But whatever it was, it worked pretty good. I can't remember what the name of it was. What's up, Sizzle Neck? Quit mangling that tape and it won't do that. It's whenever I'm doing bigger stuff and I get in a hurry and I'm just jerking and yanking. I know that's what does it, but it's like I'm not going to baby a tape measure. I'll just get another one whenever I'm done with it. It's one of the few tools that I'm pretty rough on, probably. I'm more rough on my tape measure than anything else, which is kind of weird because it's really an important tool that you don't want to mangle up too bad. Never seen a double decker. I don't think I have either. May have to send me some insulin. They're a double decker moon pie. Some of those are huge. Yeah, because those are a pretty decent size to begin with. Brian said his Lowe's never had those either. Yeah, my Lowe's quit carrying the Irwin tape measures altogether because I was hoping I was going to go in there and see them on clearance. Maybe they put some more out or something, but mine had them for a little while and then I haven't seen them again. So maybe mine actually got rid of all of them well before some of these other Lowe's or something did. He sent you some insulation in Debbie form. Joey's never in a bad mood because he takes it out on his tapes. I did break. I think I fixed it though. This subcompact Noster that I've got on this one, I've got to tighten it back down, but I had broke it. It had kind of gotten stuck like back like this somehow. I don't know if I bent it or what I did, but I bent it back and it's working fine now, but I did something to it because there for a while, I kept putting my tape on. It was just coming off. Like every time I bumped something, it was flying all over the place. I'm like, what in the world? I've never had that problem. But then I realized that it was basically like it was stuck open somehow. I don't know what I did to it. Well, in fact, I can see now. You can kind of see a little, that one half of it's broke. That's what's happened to it, I guess. And it must have got stuck somehow, some way. But I mean, it's working right now. But half of it's broke there. I saw that. Was it Hush Mat? I want to say it started with an A. I could look it up because whatever it was, I could look up the order for it. But I remembered I saw it at that builder show. Whatever the company was had like a booth there. And I just made a mental note of it. I'm like, a matter of fact, I think I wrote it in a notepad, soundproofing this brand, that in case something ever came up where somebody wanted some. Drinking the water makes me want to see a moonshine jug being sipped on. Yeah, Jeff said they had the Crescent kind too. He got some of those on sale too. Yeah, so now that I've got it to this point, like I've been kind of in a hurry, not working a whole lot, trying to push off as much of my little jobs and stuff as I can just to get it to a point where, because currently the way I was sitting until I got the roof on, we had to brace off my trusses to this building. So I had to drill holes and stuff in the metal and all that kind of stuff. And then the two sides, they were kind of closed in with the bottom plates being sealed down to the concrete, to where any rain that ran off this building went into those and then it couldn't really get out. So I'd have to mess with it. So I was trying to be in a rush to get it to the point that I am right now. And now I can kind of, like I'm going to town tomorrow to do a quick job in the morning, hanging some shelves and taking out the broken window stop on like a curved glass window and replacing that. And then I'm going to a doctor's office to look at a bathroom. They're wanting to change. It's a bathroom now. It's just a toilet and sink, but they're wanting to add a shower into it, but it's on a concrete slab. So it's going to be quite a bit of work. So I'm going to go look at that tomorrow. And then I've got another job I got to do too. And then this Saturday I'm going to go ahead and think, because I meant to say it. I filmed the guest of trade today. I haven't edited it and uploaded it yet, but I meant to say in it, this Saturday is that, I think I did it last year. I think I remember saying it to people, the charity event where I go and man the grill for some people. I'll be there. So I don't know that I'll be able to be in the chat, but I might be able to. It just depends on what's going on around that time frame. So if I'm not in there, that's what I'm doing. So I'm manning a grill, cooking bratwurst. Matt said, yeah, I've been quiet lately. I know you and Clint been texting like crazy, and I know I haven't been answering as much, but I've been setting my phone in here. I don't have my phone on me most of the day because I just set it right here on the workbench while we're going around working. So usually I don't open it and see stuff till late at night. My East Texans cousins still make their own shine. Yeah, there's a guy up the road from me. I don't know if he still makes it or not, but he used to make it. Tyrone said, I've only ate Little Debbie's when I went out and got firewood as a kid. They remind me of eating out of a stale smelling lunchbox. Not a fan. Can we make shine out of them? Oh man, I love me some Little Debbie's. Let's see. My wife had her first 3-month checkup since chemo, still cancer free, doing great, hair growing back. Let's go, Erica. So that's good. Good news, Clint. Terry said he's having a hard time getting the magnetic tool mat. I haven't went to town near as much either. So like I went to Lowe's just the other day because I had to go to town for, I had to go get some more zip tape. I ran out of zip tape. So I went down there for that and I stopped in. Miss Maintenance went with me. We went to Lowe's and picked that up. I got something else. I don't remember what else I got there. And then I was looking at the trim prices because I haven't decided if I want to use the vinyl trim or use the LP trim. There's certain places where I'm going to have to use the vinyl trim because I'm kind of a little bit too close to the ground. I don't like the idea of putting the LP stuff that close. I think you're supposed to be at least 6 inches off or something like that. But it's more cost effective for sure to buy the LP. But I've got vinyl already on the front of this, so I haven't decided yet. So me and Miss Maintenance went to Menards to see what options they have because they usually got more in the way of materials than Lowe's and Home Depot both have. But I haven't been to Harbor Freight to even see if mine's ever put it out. But odds are, if they did put it out, they're all gone anyways. What's up, Learning with Juan? One of the best ways to soundproof is stagger walls through my experience. That's what we did on the quadplex we just built. That's what the drawing show for that. Now, the last one that we built, we did stud wall, and then there was hat channel going across with these. Let's see, some sort of I can't think of what the term for it is now, but like a sound isolator, like a little rubber deal on it that went on the screws, and then it also, I think there was something else involved in it too. It was a total different system, but it worked fairly well because I don't think they've ever had any problems. But this last one, the detail was basically 2 walls and then stagger the studs. So that's what we did on the last one. Matt said PVC trim works great. I like the PVC trim, and then I like using that's the only thing I don't like about PVC trim is it's very hard to like putty and do all that kind of stuff, especially if it's the textured kind. And the thing I don't like is like on our quadplex, some other people installed some of the exterior doors, and they just put screws and big nails and everything in it. It's very hard to patch that and make it look good. So I always buy these, which I think I got these on clearance at Home Depot too. Actually, I got some out, I'm sure. I'm gonna open this package. Yeah. The little so you use these screws, and as you screw them in, that's a short one, but as you screw them in, this also makes a hole for the plug. So it's a lot like you've probably seen a lot of deck fasteners, and they got little white plugs for them too. So that's typically what I do whenever I use the PVC trim. You can still see the plugs, but I think it looks better than most of the time a big nail hole or a big screw hole. Now, nails you might can get away with puttying and not seeing it, but regular screws, like that's too big. I think the Icon magnetic mat is the meme tool of the moment. Well, I just bought the Jersey Discount Tool Company one, up there. I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, y'all can kind of see it. I've just been leaving it on my bench and throwing screws and stuff on it until I had time to put them up. But I like the size of that one. I think the Icon one's kind of similar to that. I don't know if it's the same exact size, but I think it's pretty similar. Which Learning with Juan just said, check theirs out. It's Jersey Discount Tools. It's legit. I do. It's pretty good. resilient channel metal stuff. It channels bass away from the walls. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a stud and then some sort of a spacer, hat channel, and then the screw with some sort of an isolator or something on it. Some way reminder to tell them about the improved railer. Oh, yeah, yep. Some way said that he bought a, ooh, let's do that. I don't know if I got one. I got one sitting out here somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I meant to get out because these are the last ones I bought. I don't know if I've got an older one. But some way said that he had a, and I should have put the pictures on my iPad. I guess I could have showed you. But he bought it. His railer tore up right there, like a lot of y'all's have you said that they have. If you hang on your bag, you pull on it real hard. Sometimes they get broke, which this one's a big one, so it might be a little different. But he said that he's got a new one, and they've improved it on the new one. So I don't have a newer one of that. But he said just to let y'all know that. Yeah, I've got the Jersey. This one's the Jersey discount one right here. It's, I think, I want to say it's 8x12 or something like that. And I was surprised it was red when I got it. I could have swore, like, the video I watched of theirs, I thought it was orange. The picture, I thought it was orange, which I was glad it was red. But I could have swore it was orange. But it's pretty good. Like I said, it's strong enough to hold most anything you're going to put on it. If you just really hammer on it, something heavy like this right here would roll down if you shook it real hard. But anything, if you've got it sitting somewhere, if you throw it on it, it's not going to come off. Yeah, today I went around and put in truss screws and hurricane ties, all that kind of stuff. Took down all my diagonal bracing on the inside. Started pondering about my porch beam thing out here. I'm going to have to run that by Mr. Massey and see what he thinks, because I think I need to do something that I think if I don't do it, it's going to be a problem with the column. So I knew I had enough other stuff to do. I'm going to wait and talk to him, get two brains on it on Monday. Because again, me and Mr. Massey been kind of, I had an idea in my head, but we've been kind of making it up as we go. Like I didn't make any drawings or anything. We just started building it. That gallon of water looks like what they give you to drink. It's Milo's lemonade. Goat Roper said, can I show my SC45 loadout? I'm probably going to do a video pretty soon. I've about got it kind of knocked down to where I wanted it. I was waiting to figure out what I want to do bits wise. So I'm probably going to do a loadout pretty soon. But right now I've just got Cobra's non-contact voltage tester and the Klein ball handle in there. I'm on top. So let me go. Yeah, I'm not on live. Let me go to, I don't know why it doesn't. Let me go to all messages. So now I should be on the right. Seen a new video about the icon mat and put an automotive cylinder head up on an automotive piston lift, stuck up and didn't move. The magnetic mats in the last, I don't know, I guess I started using them in the last couple of years, but way better than the parts trays in my opinion. Like this kind of stuff, like I'd 10 times rather have the mats for me. again, I can see where this is useful to have that little bit of side for certain people, or, you know, mechanics who've got a little bit of grease and stuff. It's a lot easier probably to clean off than a mat, you know, all that kind of stuff. But again, for me, I'm not dealing with that most of the time. So I like the mats myself because I like being able to throw something like that just on somebody's. I put my moving blanket down, throw that on it, and then just start throwing screws on it and everything else. Some way got his Klein fast fit, and a 4-inch round shank driver will fit in backwards for storage. Yeah, as long as the bit head of whatever you're wanting to use is smaller than that 1/4 inch, it'll fit down in there. It has to be like I think this Phillips 2. I can't remember if this will go or not. Yeah, that'll go. So as long as whatever bit you're using, as long as this is smaller than, you know, this, it will go in past that stop. But if you use something, I don't know if I've got anything that's bigger than that. I know I had something the other day that I tried to put down in there and it wouldn't go. I don't remember what it was. Like, here's a bigger Phillips maybe. No, that's going to go too. I had something the other day. I don't remember what the bit was that I was using, but it wouldn't go. But I don't remember what it was. How did I get a Makita blower in red? Got to know some people some way. Did you see Bezug put a keychain bit to store it on a D-ring? Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I hadn't seen this video, but you're saying slide it down in there and then you'll have a keychain on the end of your, basically on the end of your Klein ball handle. It's a pretty good screwdriver. So currently I've been running this like this, and I've been leaving it in here because I've been changing tools around, and then I put it in my truck whenever I'm going to jobs where I think I would use it. But I don't really want this in there. I think it's too much space for what I got, you know, type thing. So that's why I've been toying around. I've been using it that way for now, but that's for sure. The only thing I do like is, like, that's the other nice thing about this. I don't know if I can't remember if this works or not. Yeah, so, you know, you can make your, so that's why I wanted this handle in there. And I'm just going to put this in there because instead of carrying some other ratchet or whatever, I mean, I can fit that in most spots where I'm going to need it, type thing. So then again, you got a Klein ball handle mini ratchet. Using that right there. So that's the whole reason why I really even put this in there to start with, was when I was going to get some bits. And then also it kind of gives me a little ratchet, gives me some sockets. But I don't end up ever using probably this that much because I'm just going to use this screwdriver. So this is just taking up a lot of room in there, in my opinion, where I could fit some other stuff. So this is the main thing. All that other stuff that's in there is pretty much in there. That's what I'm going to use. I've mostly just been trying to figure out what I want to do on this side. I mean, right now this has been working fine. Again, I kind of looked at this like this is going to be my Ted Cook field piece pouch, where, you know, you just get out of your truck and this is it. You're just going to get it done with it no matter what it is. Because as I've said, I've got a lot of tools, but they're in all honesty, there's not a whole lot I can't fix. That's just a service call type thing with, you know, these and a screwdriver that has whatever bit I need. You can get it done. It might not be the most efficient and effective way, but you can typically get it done. Clint's got the 3/8 deep cline sockets coming. Didn't you get the shorty annex bit? It fits inserted. Let's see. I had that out just the other day, and then I think I put it back in my truck. I'd have to find that, Matt. I think I put it in my truck. Because I've got in that Milwaukee caddy that's on the side of my pack out drawers, I've got some bits that I keep in there that's more specific-y type stuff. Actually, hang on, I might have put it in here. Let me see if I put it in here. I think that might be the long. Is the 6-inch? The 6-inch is the longer one. Is there a shorter one than the 6? I'm trying to think. I can't think for the life of me. I had something the other day that I tried to put in there and it wouldn't go because the head was bigger, but I can't remember what it is because it's very rare. It might have been like I don't think it was a hex key though, because I don't really have any of those that are longer shafts, so I'm not real sure what it was, but I know I had something. I need to remember to set this one out here though, because y'all always want me to try it on stuff in videos, and if I don't have it sitting in front of me, I don't think of it. Keep that shorty annex in the Klein ball handle. 6-inch long one. Shorty is 85. Yeah, because if I could get, I might need to get the. I don't think I got the short one then, and then because that's another thing. That's a good point you're bringing up. That's why I haven't left something in here, which again normally probably 9 times out of 10. This is my screwdriver setup most of the time. It's just that right there. But it kind of doesn't really work that well on this screwdriver. This is one of the few screwdrivers, just because that pushes back all the way to where I can't pull back on that locking bit holder to get my bit out without like raising that up and then doing that to pull it out. A little bit extra work, not a big deal. But that is something on this one that kind of is different than any other of the screwdrivers I've got. But yeah, I can put this in here and leave it in here and it's still shut, but I can't put like the bit that came in it. You know, like that's too long. You can't put this in there and it not be sticking up too tall. So normally I keep a bit holder like that in it. Or in this case, what I had been kind of doing, well, actually not on this one, but I thought I had one in here, but I don't have the wrap adapter in there. But having the Phillips slotted in there 9 times out of 10, that's what I use. That probably would be a better fit. What's up, Backwoods Law? It was the 2-pack. I might have it somewhere. Maybe that's the one that's in my truck. I want to say I've got one in my truck because I keep a box of just weird bits. Not that they're weird bits. I mean, a slotted to Phillips not weird, but it's different than what fits in my bit holders and all that kind of stuff. Do the new Apex bits fit in the ball grip? Are the new ones the ones that are in this case? Because I've had these for a while, like certain ones of these, but they should. Yeah. That's really like a slim profile. I kind of like these right here for certain stuff. Like I really like this one. Like sometimes whenever you're framing with screws, even if you're using a bit holder, you can get them in too deep to where you can't back them back out again. So sometimes you need one like that. So, you know, that's kind of neat that you got, that's how far down it goes. It locks into where you got kind of that slim shaft. And then as far as these, yeah, that locks in right at the sleeve. So that all still works. It's barely though, like it's almost not long enough right here, but it's right at it. But it's locked into where the sleeve moves a little bit, but the bit itself's not moving. Let me grab something out of my truck real fast. And I'll get this out and show, because somebody asked. I kind of answered it in a comment. I think I made sense of it, but I'll show just in case. I got to take this back to my buddy. But I'm gonna grab something out of my truck just in case he hadn't answered me back to let me know that it didn't make sense, but just in case it doesn't, I can tell him to come watch this live. So somebody commented on the video for the blower and said it would be nice if you could adapt these air tip hoses. So these are like, you know, flexible hoses. They're made for the vacuums, what they're made for. Like it comes with this attachment right here. You lock them on. This goes onto your vacuum. Then you can, you know, stick that into a condensate tray or whatever. And they got all different sizes. I've really only used this one right here. This longer 3/8 is the one I've used pretty much out of the whole bag. But he was saying it would be nice if they could adapt this, because if you look at them, they do kind of look similar. I need to make sure I don't lose all these. I tried to put it back in the box just like he gave it to me. Like this adapter for the nozzle, you know, you just put those in there. They look a whole lot like those if you look at them side by side, but they're not the same attachment. Like it would have been nice if they'd have done that, but you could. They don't necessarily. I mean, you could probably, if you wanted to hold it, and you take that needle nose or the nozzle, it fits inside that hole. Like you could probably just even do that if you did something here to make it stay, tape it, or do whatever, if you really wanted to use one. Or same thing, like if you used one of your nozzles, maybe there's one of these three you're never going to use, like maybe you're never going to inflate anything like this with it. These fit kind of inside of there. Well, not really. How was it? Let me see. There was some way I had it on there. Let me see that other one. Maybe it takes one of the regular nozzles and not the inflator, because I think I used one of these. There was some way that you could probably lose one of these if you wanted to. Like if there was one of them you absolutely didn't use and you were going to use these pretty often, I think you could probably make this fit somehow. But it ain't fitting like it was earlier. Let me see if I put it on here maybe. No. You could maybe go and tape that up, cut this nozzle off, and then use this all the time. If you really wanted to, you could make yourself one, basically, is what I'm saying. If you wanted to lose one of your 3 nozzles that you get with this gun, make yourself a permanent one of these. You could end up doing that if you wanted to. That's what I tried to explain in the comment, whether or not that made sense or not. So I thought I'd go ahead and throw that in here just in case it didn't. I can tell him he can go watch this and maybe that'll help. Those there, so I don't lose that. Come on, Milwaukee, do better. Somebody said, do I know which blower has a plethora of air fittings? The Maleef does. The Maleef comes with all sorts of stuff. Matter of fact, it's worth, even if you own that other subpar brand, if you buy the Maleef one, you get all those attachments for nothing. Maybe they'll come out with like extra accessories and stuff too. You never know. I'll make sure I get all this stuff back in there. What's up, C Doggo or C Cell Doggo? C Doggo, I don't know. From Orchards Park. Streaming before kickoff. Yeah, we got the Bills and the Dolphins tonight. You never know, but should be an easy guess on who's going to win that one. Make sure I didn't miss something crazy. Almost 6 years on the M12 Surge and no update. Yeah, and I swear I think that's why they're coming out with the M18 one first, like because they know that people will still buy the M18 one if it's the newest one out and there's no new M12. But I think most people that run the Surge run the M12 Surge, not the M18. I like the M18 one. I've got it too, but I think the majority of people, and I did put in the comments, I did find the belt clip. I had actually dumped it out over here on my workbench whenever I was looking for it in the bag that I couldn't find it. Sizzle Neck said, I wonder if they're going to make an M12 version. I never really thought about it, like, because some people are saying, well, they do have an M12 compact blower, which is this thing back here, which doesn't look very compact, but you can obviously, take that off. But it would be nice, in my opinion, if Milwaukee came out with an M12 blower that was handheld like this, that took the M12 battery. That would be pretty nice. So, like, you can imagine, basically just putting that up in there, having one this size. I'd rather have that than this. Like, if I could get one this size, I'd rather have that. Michael said he saw the triple hammer impact kits on clearance at Lowe's for $149. I can't remember what I got mine for. I made a video. I made like a short for it, I think, when I bought mine. And I bought it to get batteries is really what I bought it for. But that's all I've been using on this too. I don't know if it's probably back behind me. Yeah. Actually, it's probably clicked in my vest, wherever my vest is. Doop, doop, doop. Nope. Well, good question. Where is my triple hammer? Oh, there it is. So I've got this one. It's the 36 volt, the WH36DB, because there's lots of options on it, but that's all I've been using on this. That way I've just been leaving it. I'm not getting my Milwaukee stuff out of my truck. I've just been using this with my vest. Michael said he'd love to try one, but it's more of a want tool. That's the same way I was. I had a Hitachi 16 gauge nailer, and I only had like one battery for it. And I knew the Metabo ones. I looked it up, and it was compatible. So at that price, I was like, well, I need a couple more batteries for my nailer anyways. So, and I kind of wanted to try that because I didn't really need it. You know, I just used my Milwaukee stuff, but I kind of been wanting to use one because I see a lot of people using them. So I went ahead and bought it, even though it was probably a little bit more even on clearance to get batteries than what I wanted to spend. But I thought it was a pretty good deal with the tool. Jeff said, oh, and yes, I was hoping you'd share the big Deborah with Miss Maintenance. Kiltronics has that M12 blower and hates it, no power. Yeah, it's for sure not like, it all depends on what you bought it for. Like I said, I keep it in here. Like I'd never have even taken it with me working wise. I had it in my truck for a little while and I just didn't find it. Like it wouldn't clean up my table saws and stuff like that all that well. Like it's very good for blowing off, like you're working off of a workbench or something like that, and you just want to blow the dust off but not move your stuff. It works good for that. So if you're somebody who does that, it's a pretty good tool. But if you're expecting it to be like, you know, go in and blow the leaves off your porch and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it might do it eventually, but it's nowhere near even close to any of my other blowers. I can see how much this disorganization is killing you. Oh, it's driving me crazy. That's been the biggest thing is like, and I come out here most nights and try to straighten up, like, and put stuff up that I think I'm done using. Because if I'm going to use it the next day, it doesn't necessarily bother me that it's sitting here by my door because I'm just going to get it back out the next morning. But then there's still times where I got to go do something somewhere and I've got to have something that I've got out in here. And then even to just get my table saw from point A to point B with all this stuff in my way, it's just, yeah, it drives me crazy. Anyone get the Flex deal? I actually didn't even think about buying it, but I went back to look. Like Matt mentioned in a comment that the 6.5 was that inline saw, and I did think that was a pretty cool looking saw back when I first saw it. So I thought, well, man, if I can get that for $79, because he said that's a good enough deal if you get a battery adapter. But I could find a Flex battery to a Milwaukee tool adapter, but I couldn't find a Milwaukee battery to a Flex tool adapter. I couldn't find one, or else I'd buy that inline saw and try it out. I bought the blower for the shop blower. Yeah, like I said, that's why I keep it there. It works good for blowing off like this, or like just if you're doing some assembly or something on a table and you got stuff places. Basically, if you want to blow small stuff away and not move your bigger stuff, it's a pretty big blower. Because like if I took my M18 blower right here to this, half of this stuff would blow off my desk. What photo app are you using to take? Let's see. Don Mendenhall asked, what photo app are you using to take off your sites and edit showing adding outlets, plugs, piping for plumbing so a customer sees your ideas? So a couple different ways. Like sometimes I'll take just pictures and just make notes on them. And I use an app called like Photo Measures or something like that. I've had it on my phone forever. I bought it. It was like $1.99. I don't think that there used to be a free version, but I don't think there is anymore. It lets you put like arrows to stuff. So it mostly depends on what I'm trying to show. Like if I'm just explaining something and pointing at something as if I'm talking to the person and saying, look at this, this is what I'm going to do with this, I can use that. Now, if I'm going to do like a full blown remodel of something, I always draw it out. Like I'll go in there and measure the space, do an existing drawing of what it is right now, and then I will show changes of what I am going to do, and I can add all those details. And my favorite thing to use is Visio, Microsoft Visio. There's a floor plan, like that's really for flow charts and stuff like that. But there's a floor plan like set of things that you can pick from in there, like walls, and there's electrical stuff and all that kind of stuff. And it's just very intuitive. It's really easy to use. It's super fast. Like I can do a drawing of a place in, a few hours, even like a big place. Now, if it's something small, I can do it in like 30 minutes. So it's very quick is why I like that. So primarily that's what I use. I don't really use AutoCAD or anything like that anymore. I've never used SketchUp. I just never have had to. Like, again, I mostly do like the bird's eye view drawings, like what you get in a set of builder plans. That's the only kind of drawings I do. I don't do any kind of three-dimensional stuff or anything like that. Dan Singer got the Metabo 36 recip kit for $119 and got the rear handle for $99. Yeah, I heard the Metabo rear handle is pretty good too. You need more wall space. I do. Miss Maintenance took up some of my wall space with new windows. I got 2 of the small ones put in. That was in the picture, but the big one's coming. But she said I couldn't do the building with no windows. Time for kickoff. Don't forget my oatmeal cream pie. Dan's got the 21 degree flex. So far I've been using, I didn't buy the coil nailer that I made a post about. I just used the Milwaukee framing nailer and bought Metabo nails for it. It's a 21 degree nailer. So that's what I use to put my roof sheathing on. That's what I use to put the zip sheathing on. I'm going to try it with the LP stuff, see how it goes. Cause I'm not doing like, I'm doing like panels, and I think I'm going to do the kind like what we've got on the back of our house, and it's not the board and batten, it's just panels. So then you end up seeing a lot of the nails. So I'm gonna have to test it and see how well that goes, because you're going to basically see the nails. So because the zip sheathing, it was kind of hard for me to keep it consistent, like not going in too far, or not going in enough. Like I couldn't get that fine little point where it was like boom, even, because I'd rather almost, once I get to the sheathing, I'd almost rather it be short and me tack it with a hammer, like one whack or whatever, if that's what it needs, and to go in too deep. So I have to see how that goes. I'll be into a Swiss roll shortly, BMCK said. Stainless nails don't murder vinyl siding like Galvies. Yeah, I'm gonna do. I was gonna originally see. We've got vinyl siding on our gables on the house. It's white vinyl siding, but at some point in time, we're probably gonna change that, but we don't know for sure. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do white vinyl on the gables on this too, just to make it match for now, and then that way we probably won't change it, and then that'll save me from changing on the house. But I was originally going to do the hardy stuff, but then it's pretty tall up there. I'd almost rather do vinyl than have to get back up there and paint all that a bunch and all that kind of stuff. So I'm probably just going to do vinyl on the gables, and then LP on the wall parts and all that kind of stuff. You sure smell the pass load. The name is warranted. Yeah, it stinks to have to use that gas and stuff, but it is a big difference in weight if you've used a pass load nailer versus any of the other ones. What's up, Chris? Dan did the LP with panels, then put up batten board. It was easy to adjust and pretty consistent. Had to knock a few down, a few proud. See, that'd be fine by me. If they're a little bit proud, I'm okay with that. I just don't want it to go like. And with my roof sheath, then I didn't have near the like. Of course, it was 5/8. It was a lot thicker than that zip stuff, and it stayed a little more consistent on it. Every now and then, I had some that just. I don't know if I hit something in the truss or what, but it happened quite a few times where the nail just didn't go in at all. I kind of thought about doing the board and batten because I've got most of it is 8 foot. So I can get the 8 foot panels of like the 4x8 sheets and we can paint that the house color and all that kind of stuff. And again, that's what my addition on the back of my house actually has on it. So it would kind of, even though you can't ever see the two at one time, so they don't matter that they don't necessarily match. But I've got a few sections, like as I come up to this building, I had to make taller to make it, be the same all the way around. And so I'm right at like a 9 foot. So, but you can get the board and batten panels, in longer lengths and stuff. So I could do that all the way around. But with 4x8 sheets, I'm gonna have to do something a little creative with trim or something to make it work out right. Again, I haven't worked out those details yet. I'm just doing it as I go. If I sit down and start like some for my own stuff, I just have to just start doing it because I'm a real bad overthinker. That's like even like on my truck loadout. Like if I didn't just start building them drawers and I just sit there and think about it for too long, I'll come up with 45 ways to do it, and I just end up just spending all my time thinking about, oh, what if I don't end up liking this? I just do stuff, and if I don't like it, I change it like on the fly. Like I'm like, I don't think this is going to work out. I don't do that for customers. I like to overthink it and have 100% what I'm doing so that I can explain to them 100% what I'm doing. But for my own self, I just kind of like to just do it as I go because I start to see stuff and think, oh, well, what I thought originally, I think I'm gonna like this a little bit better, and I have the ability to, change it, and it's not going to cost me anything, labor wise or anything like that. Killtronics uses air nailer. Be lazy, do T11 Hardy. Should we ask Chat GTP or Claude to help you with your plan? I haven't got into that much either. Like I haven't got into asking. Like I know a lot of people that use like the AI stuff. I haven't got into you know, it's the same thing with kind of like the Google Translate. Like it's taken me forever to remind myself, hey, you can use Google Translate, whenever you're talking to somebody or whatever. I never think of it until later on. It's kind of the same way with AI. Like I don't even think about now. The only AI that I've been using like is like if you search in Google, sometimes it comes up the AI results or whatever. But I don't have an app on my phone, and I don't specifically think, hey, I'm gonna go ask AI this. I just haven't got into that yet. Project Pine Hill says sometimes you just got to get started or you end up overthinking. Yeah, for my own stuff, I'm horrible that way because I'm always thinking to myself, you're going to wish you did this. Like there's going to be like, and my brain is just like, you got to do it the best way possible, like for the best organization, the best whatever. And the bottom line is no matter how much you think about it, I've just learned this, no matter how much you think about it, there's still going to be things that you don't like about it when you're done with it. So you just got to do it, start using it, and then adapt it as you go. And eventually you'll get it to some way how you like it, and it might not be perfect, but it's going to be pretty close. Dan's a good overthinker, doesn't end up getting anything done. Everything is figure outable. It's his superpower. Yep, there's a fix for anything when you run into it. You just got to think about it for a little while. But don't think about it too long. Just do it. And then if that doesn't work, do something else. The only time I don't mind spending the time overthinking is whenever it's something that if you don't spend the time thinking, like your foundation stuff, like the stuff that if you don't do it right, it's going to be a disaster, and there's really no fixing it. There's just working with it at that point, but it makes everything horrible past that point. I will spend the time on those stages making sure like this is what I want, and then sometimes you're still going to have to adapt to that, but some way says his Metabo pneumatic framing nailer only weighs about 7.5 pounds. I know I used a pneumatic framing nailer on my paneling that's back there. I borrowed it from somebody, and it worked out pretty good. Uh, but I don't remember what brand it was. Like I didn't have a lot of problems out of that. And the air powered framing nailers aren't that expensive. Like they're not super crazy expensive. All the battery powered ones are pretty high dollar. I mean that pass load's got one that's specifically for it. Like that's all it does though. It's like pretty much shoots for siding, mostly pretty much for LP siding, like that kind of stuff. And it's super nice. But if I installed siding for a living, like and I was gonna use it in my job and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I'd probably go ahead and just go buy it. But this is going to be pretty much it unless I do something else around here or if I go do something for somebody that's a friend or something. But it's going to be very few and far between. I just don't do that kind of work for my job. I don't take on a lot of outside exterior work just because scheduling is a nightmare for exterior work. And when you work by yourself, that's the hardest part of working by yourself is the scheduling aspect of it. So if you get thrown off a few days, it would be it'd be pretty bad to try to get caught up because you can't just say, well, I'm going to go here today and you go there so that we can make these two people happy because we were supposed to be here and there yesterday. And you can't do that because you only have one person. The Hardy lap siding, I've done 2-inch stainless in a framing nailer, worked out. TPG also tends to overthink. Yeah, I think it's a common thing with a lot of people that do, any kind of work like what we do. Whether you're a tradesperson, homeowner, like if you're a person who does stuff where you've taken something from start to finish, and you've at least at some point in time you've done something, and you go back and think, man, as you're in stage number 3, you're like, oh, I did something wrong on stage 1, like because now this isn't how I wanted it and it's not coming out right. Like I didn't measure something right or whatever. So after you do that 4 or 5 times, you just start, your brain just starts really, saying, you better think about this. And then you start thinking of all the bad scenarios that if I don't do this right, it can become something that's really like, keeps you from being able to really work in a way. Well, I'll stay on here till 7:20. So a few more minutes. Then we got to go watch some football with Miss Maintenance. Clint's tardy. So I got 2 people in the guess the trade. I gotta edit that still. So hopefully I'll have time either tonight or tomorrow. But uh, one has I'm reading them off my board over here. Vito MP1, I believe. It's kind of hard to tell in the picture because there's not really a like boom up close at it, but I think it's MP1. And then a MB high vis, and I can't tell what it is either. I think it's an MB3, but I don't know. And then a Klein Mod Box tote is what he's got. And then the other person has a Vito SPMC and a Vito SC45. So that'll be this Saturday's. BG said, I think you need to make the popcorn first. going to the Titans-Colts game Sunday. The Colts are pretty well surprising most people, I think. Better late than never, Jamie said. £9.5 with the battery. Yeah, the Milwaukee is a heavy dude. I didn't mind it as much on the roof sheathing because you're just kind of bent over and the gravity. But man, the LP stuff, and it's not bad on the stuff that's like right in front of you, but whenever you got to try to, reach out and, hit something way over here, it's a pretty hefty dude with the battery and all that stuff in it. And the thing that really, which I mean, you could buy the extended magazine, but all my nails would only let me put one sleeve in. Like you could almost put two. Like I could have went through and probably broke some in half and put 1.5 in. But man, you reload like crazy. It's all the time reloading if you shoot very many nails. And I was nailing the fire out of it, so. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here and get inside, watch some football with the Miss Maintenance, maybe edit a little bit of the Guess the Trader, at least get it all moved over to my iPad and get it in the order that it goes, and then maybe I can do it tomorrow. I know I like to try to get it up a little bit early because a few of you like to look at the picture and see if you can guess just based on looking at the picture, so I'll try to get that up there. But we'll see y'all on the next one. And again, Saturday, I may be in the chat, may not be. Just depends on where I'm at in the process of grilling for the, charity thing that I'm at. So possibly we'll be able to. So we'll see y'all on the next one.